Well, today is one of those days where I get to practice what I preach. In a previous video, I've talked about a strategy or a tactic you can use in the moment, real time, to immediately get leverage on yourself. If you're pissed off, angry, frustrated, anxious, resentful, whatever it is. And right now, I have got fires on multiple fronts. I've got multiple things not cooperating or going wrong in my business and in my personal life, and a few other variables and extenuating circumstances. Truly, I'm not going to get into that because I don't want to give it more power than it needs, and it's besides the point. I've got problems like we all do, but today it's really amped. So amped that my thinking egg is keeping me company. I don't know why. Side note, I don't know why. But just fidgeting with a thinking egg like this, very calming. I don't know why. Anyway, back to the main point. Don't feel like making a video today, but of course I have to because I said I would. My commitment is that I will make a video a day and post it no matter how I feel, no matter what's going on. And as you all might know, for those of you who watch my YouTube channel consistently, one of the core fundamentals and one of the core pillars that I teach of personal excellence and personal development for men is your say-do ratio. Doing what you said you were going to do long after the feeling of doing it passes, which that feeling always passes, right? And that the closer your say-do ratio is, 100% being the ideal, but the closer that it is, the more congruent you are as a man, right? Anyway, one of the two strategies, and I'm going to revisit one of them. One of the two strategies that I shared in a past video, and I'm just going to recap it here today because I'm practicing it today, is practicing mental subtraction. So instead of trying to be positive and instead of trying to force yourself to be positive when you're dealing with 101 problems, right? When you feel like I do today, where I feel like I'm stuck in a giant cosmic game of whack-a-mole. If I try to force myself to be positive, at least the way I'm wired, and maybe you can relate. If I try to force myself to feel positive, I'll go batshit insane. Because it's almost like, well, it is, you're fighting yourself, right? And so you're trying to suppress and repress the anger, the frustration, whatever negative feelings you might be experiencing as a reaction to events and circumstances. Now, how to be less reactive, etc., is its own topic and important to understand, to embrace, and to master. But unless you're a robot, you're still going to feel things based upon events and experiences, right? To one degree or another. So mental subtraction is one of my weapons, my secret weapons for being able to immediately use to get leverage on myself, to at least bring down my seeing red, and that way I can operate effectively, take effective action. And mental subtraction is playing this game with yourself of imagine if you didn't have this. Imagine it gone from your life. So for example, right now in my business, I keep looking at my computer screen, but right now in my business, I have no less than 5 different problems constantly going sideways at the moment. So what I can do, playing mental subtraction, is imagine that I just don't have my business anymore. It's gone. It's been taken away from me. I've lost it, whatever. Now how do I feel? I feel worse than having the 5 problems. You see what I'm saying? Mental subtraction of the few people I'm having some problems with in my personal life. Imagine them being completely gone from my life and every past experience with them, especially all the good ones, removed. All the good experiences, all the good memories, gone. Now how do I feel? Let's say that even the current negative circumstances I'm having with them are also removed. It's still a net loss to have them completely gone out of my life because there's more wins and positives than there are negatives. I even brought it home, literally to my home, and I'm like, I love my home. I got a very beautiful home, $1 million plus home. Got an awesome book collection, books all over the house, right? Got a great pad. What if that was gone? Just subtract that out of my life. Imagine I was living in, maybe a small studio and could barely fit anything in there compared to what I have now. Now I got a private 2-car garage with my own gym, a bunch of Rogue fitness equipment in the garage all stacked out. I have my own private rooftop with a jacuzzi up there. Pretty cool, right? What if that's all gone? Eliminate that from my life right now. And downgrade. How do I feel now? Not so good. And so this mental subtraction game is something that I play for 3 to 5 minutes. And sometimes like today, I'll be honest with you, I've had to repeat it at least 3 times. Just like, remember, what if this was all gone? And so what happens is that instead of fighting the negative feeling, the negative reaction, which oftentimes for every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. So when you fight something, you actually give it more strength, right? Instead of fighting it and giving it more strength. Because a lot of times the way negative stuff works, at least in my experience, is the more energy and attention and fight I give it, the bigger the damn thing gets. So it's like quicksand. It's like the harder you fight against it, the deeper you sink into it. And, the only thing that's winning is the bullshit, the negative thing, because it's getting attention and it's getting all my energy. Can you relate? Right? I'm sure you can relate. So if instead of fighting it, I just go, I see you. Yeah, I see you, ego. Pulling at me. There's a movie called Revolver by Guy Ritchie. Jason Statham is in it, and this is Jason Statham before he was big known Jason Statham. If you haven't seen it, one of my top 5 movies, you have to go watch it. It's called Revolver. And I'm not going to give you a spoiler. So all I'm going to say is that the whole movie's a metaphor, but you don't get what the metaphor is until the end. And then in the ending credits, they explain it. And then the first time I saw the movie, I watched it, saw the ending credits explain it, and was so mind fucked that I went back and rewatched the whole thing immediately again. It's the only movie I've ever done that with in my entire life, where I watched it back to back immediately. And the second time I watched it, then I was just even on a bigger mind trip, because now I could see the metaphor and everything. I personally think is one of the best movies ever made of all time. And again, making sure that I don't give anything away, in there is a scene where Jason Statham is in an elevator having a come to reality moment and a huge breakthrough with his ego. And the whole, I see you. I see you. That's his line from that scene in the elevator. So go watch the movie. I don't want to spoil it for you. It's that good. I swear. I promise you. Go watch it. But what happened, so back to what I was saying, is that when I play the mental subtraction game, it allows me to detach from getting caught up into the mess. It's like, how's the phrase go? It's like, if you get down to the mud and wrestle a pig, the pig's happy because he just wanted to get you dirty, kind of a thing, right? So by decoupling from the stress, the anxiety, the anger, the frustration, the reactionary feelings that I'm having, and instead of playing short-circuiting that for just a minute and playing this game of what if, mental subtraction, what if I lost this, so taking anything related to the problem I'm having, completely wiping it out from my life, hypothetically for a minute, and imagining my life completely without it, it allows me to very quickly come as close to neutral as I can. And one of the things that I share with all my guys is that you do not understand the power, the superpower that neutrality is until you've been able to stand in the pocket and, duck and weave and bob all the different things that come at you from life and ego and bullshit and people, etc., and just stay in the pocket of neutrality. You have no idea the fucking superpower that neutrality is until you've been able to stay in the neutrality pocket, the zone, all the way through a circumstance, situation, or problem in your life, come out the other side, look back and be like, oh my God, holy cow. That was some next level Jedi mind shit. Simple neutrality. And so right now I'm getting to practice what I preach, and that's the video for today. Mental subtraction. If you're going through it, try it out. Get into the neutrality pocket or as close as you can to it. Play this new mental subtraction game as many times as you need to throughout the day to completely get centered, get your chi on point, because shit's always fucking with your chi when you're going through problems, right? You with me? So get centered by doing this thing. By the way, bonus tip, thinking egg might help. I don't know, helps me fidgeting with it. I'm a high energy person though, so I'm sure I got a little ADHD or something like that. This helps, but you might not be like that. But the point is mental subtraction, so that instead of fighting the thing and giving it even more battle and even more resistance, which gives it more power, and the only thing that's winning is the problem because it's getting you wrapped around the axle. I see you. Yeah, I see you. Yanking at my soul, fucking with my chi, pulling at my brain. It's okay. All right, you can act out. I'll be chill. I'll be neutral, and I'll walk through this with you, and we'll get through it. Try it out. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear back.